Let me grab my mic here. Hey friends, I am just sitting down to have a little cup of coffee. It's roughly noon, and I'm about to pack up some eBay sales so I can head to the post office in just a little bit. And I wanted to share something that I thought you might find kind of interesting if you have been at all intrigued at the thought of AI, and if you've not used it or if you've not experimented with it so far, I just want to share a couple of things that I've been doing. Some of this is over the past year or so, and two of these things are things that I've done just in the past few days that I'm really kind of proud of myself and proud that I am the one taking advantage of technology and even surprising my husband. So if you're like me, you may have a husband that typically does all the tech stuff. And it's really not been until the past couple of years that I've kind of owned my own tech much better. I'm not very good at keeping up with running updates, so he stays on me about that. But a lot of the other things I have started to experiment with in different ways, and he uses AI for a lot of research that he is working on, some Bible studies, and just like hashing out ideas and ways to reach people and just different ways to say things. So I've been using quite a bit over the past year, using AI to just kind of help me organize thoughts as I'm writing. It's just really nice sometimes to just brainstorm and just throw out a lot of ideas, and then have AI, whether that be ChatGPT. I've used ChatGPT. I've used Grok a good bit, and I've used a little bit of Gemini. Grok seems to be the one that I'm just kind of, I don't know, I guess the more you use one, the more they get to know, the more it gets to know you and your voice and the way you say things and what you might mean instead of, a traditional way of saying something. Grok has kind of learned my language, I guess. But anyway, I enjoy being able to just throw out a lot of ideas and then say, okay, Grok, help me to put this in a logical order. And so while Grok is not necessarily writing for me, I use Grok to kind of just help me organize ideas and thoughts, and maybe sometimes use it for creating a timeline or a work order or a workflow, or an outline for something. So that's one way that I've been using it, and I think that's a way that a lot of people in offices are going to be using whatever, AI. But recently, I've had two challenges that have really just had me baffled. Like, I could not figure out how to get this fixed. So we have a Nest thermostat control, and we've had it for about 5 years. And I loved it initially because we had a much more predictable routine where we were gone during certain hours and home during certain hours. So I had it scheduled so that it would come up to the temperature that I wanted the room to be at when we got home. And that when we were away, in the summertime, we would, bump up the thermostat. In the winter, we would lower it. But over the past 6 months or so, the Nest has just kind of gotten a mind of its own. And when we would normally, like in the wintertime, I typically keep the heat set on 65. It's something that goes back to when Michael was working construction back in the day. We always tried to keep our house a little bit on the warmer side in the summer months and on the cooler side in the winter months, so that when he was going in and out of the inside and outside of houses, he was not feeling so much of a extreme in temperature changes. So we've kind of stuck to that, and it's also helps me to be a little more frugal. I don't know what you keep your heat set at. Maybe you would make me look bad and you're even lower than 65. But 65 is where I like to keep it. But our thermostat just kept deciding that 68 was the temperature that it believed our space needed to be. And so we would walk past it, and I'd just quit using the scheduler. So we would walk past it and look at it, and it would be set on 68. So I would stop it, manually turn it down to 65, push the button back in and set it again, and it would go back to 65. But then 15 minutes later, you would walk past it again, and it again would say it was 68. So, needless to say, we were paying higher power bills than what we would like to pay. And so I have attempted to, the app just quit working. So I was working on something on Grok, and I thought, I wonder if I could get Grok to talk me through how to reset it back to the factory settings. And so I got on Grok and I said, okay, we have this Nest system. It's from this year and it's this model and whatever, and this is what it's doing. Can you help me just wipe it clean and reset it and back to the factory settings? And so Grok said, sure, when you're ready to, just let me know. So several days went by, and I finally said, okay, I'm going to tackle that. And Michael was away for something, and anyway, he wasn't home, and I did it by myself. And I reset it following the instructions that Grok spelled out for me, and our thermostat is now at 65. And so I'm pretty jazzed about that. Then we have an iMac desktop computer. It's an older one. Well, it's older for most people. It's a 2019, I think, is when the year that we bought it. And I quit using it so much because I switched to a laptop, and Michael was going to be the one using the desktop. And and I wanted to get a lot of the stuff that I had off the computer, and he was trying to get everything that he owned backed up on one external hard drive. And with the information that I had on the computer, coupled with everything that he put on the computer, basically he put so much stuff on it that it could no longer do anything. And we got it to the point where it just wouldn't reboot. So since I'd had the success with the Nest, and I just thought I would stretch my wings a little bit. Let's just see what we can do. So I got on Grok and explained the situation. We have this old desktop. My husband was trying to get everything all in one place, and we were going to move all this information to an external hard drive, and the computer just completely wigged out, and now we can't even get it to reboot. Can you help me reset it to the factory settings again? And so Grok said, sure, just let me know when you're ready to start. So I did the same thing. I took my laptop, sat at his desk next to it, and just basically had Grok talk me through every single step. And I am so proud to say that we now have a restored iMac desktop that we can use. Now, it's older, so we can't update it to the latest operating system. We still have to use Sequoia on it, but it's working, and it's working fast. And I am just so excited and so proud of the fact that I was able to think through that. So I just want to encourage you, if you are someone who feels like you're not tech savvy, or if there's something that you want to learn, try playing around with AI. Now, let me just make this one disclaimer. Grok and ChatGPT, in my experience, there have been some things that I've asked, and the information that it gave me was not correct. Sometimes I knew it was not correct, and sometimes I had to look something up to double check it. So do double check. But in my experience so far, when it comes to tech, computers, it does a pretty good job of knowing what you can do and how to do it. Oh, another thing that I've also used it for is when you're on a software subscription, website, like I have a Substack account, and sometimes I have something in mind that I want to do, but I can't figure out where on the platform to do what it is that I need to do. And I have gone to Grok or to ChatGPT and asked, just in general, how do I blankety blankety blank on Substack, or on school platform, or on YouTube? And I would say probably 90% of the time I'm able to find exactly what I need, and I'm able to accomplish, my desired outcome. So let that be an encouragement to you. If you are thinking that AI is not going to affect you and you can avoid it, or you're not going to be able to take advantage of it, think again. It is going to affect you, but you also can harness it in a great way. So be cautious, be careful, but do explore and see what you can fix around your house that just might shock your spouse. Hope you have as much fun with AI as I have been so far, and I will catch you guys on another video. Oh, and check out my Substack. I'm going to leave a link in the description below, but I would love to have you come follow the things that I'm writing there. I'm sharing faith, and I'm sharing the things that I'm doing on YouTube, recipes, so that the whole publication is going to be faith, it's going to be about simplifying life, and it's going to be recipes. So let's encourage each other. Let's try to learn new things and be lifelong learners while we are leaning things up and taking care of ourselves and taking care of our families. Catch you guys on the next one. Have a blessed one.